Morning, all. All right, so we got 5 games tonight in the National Hockey League. The times are nicely spread out. Since there's a TNT doubleheader, which I believe is this game and this game, that would mean this game probably starts later than it says it will, and it's already a late local time as it is. So 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific start between Buffalo and Montreal. This is the fourth and final meeting between these two teams. They met October 23rd. Montreal won 3-1. On December 9th, it was a shootout victory for Montreal, 3-2. And January 4th, it was a 6-1 win for Buffalo. So both of these teams need a win. Buffalo's 24-27-4. Montreal's 22-25-8. Montreal started to fall off. For Buffalo, they've had some good results, and then usually they mix it with some bad ones. So we'll see how things go tonight. Mittelstadt, 13 goals, 31 assists, 44 points. Dahlin, 14 goals, 28 assists, 42 points. I went with the players that I felt like are the most noteworthy or best forward and defenseman. And Dahlin's had a good year, not a great year, but I don't know how many in Buffalo have had a great year. Mittelstadt being their leading scorer tells you that Tage Thompson has not had the kind of season we'd expected. On the Montreal side, 22-25-8, as I said. Suzuki, 20 goals, 33 assists, 53 points, has been excellent for Montreal. Matheson, offensively, he's been quite good. Defensively, the numbers get a little scary, but 7 goals, 34 assists for Matheson, 41 points altogether. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, we see the Philadelphia Flyers and the Chicago Blackhawks getting to know one another. This is the first of 2 meetings. They'll meet again March the 30th. Hasn't it been like ages since, I want to say since Chicago won in Philly, or is it the other way around? I think it's since Chicago won in Philly. So anyways, they'll meet again March the 30th. Philadelphia's 29-20-7 overall. Travis Konechny's had a very good year. 26 goals, 27 assists, 53 points. Sanheim, not scoring now like he did at the start of the year, but still he has 30 points altogether, 5 of those points being goals. On the Chicago front, they're 15-38-3, and since Bedard returned, they've been more enjoyable to watch. He's played 42 games, 17 goals, 22 assists, 39 points, so right around a point per game. And Seth Jones, not the offensive season he would have wanted, a goal and 15 assists, but he's played well at times for them too. And you could argue that Jones's numbers get dragged down a little bit because Chicago's blue line and just the team in general hasn't been great. 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific start between Columbus and Anaheim. I'm wearing Anaheim because I'm like, sure, why not? Trying to pick on this board today, I was kind of like, well, I don't want to pick Boston again because they lost when I wore Boston. I don't want to pick Edmonton because then I'm picking against Boston. That doesn't feel right, so I'm at Anaheim. Anaheim won the first matchup in Columbus in overtime on October 24th by a score of 3-2. That's when they still had hope for playoffs. Columbus 17-27-10 overall. Johnny Gaudreau, not allowed to have a goal. I think the last 2 that he scored have been called back. 7 goals, 30 assists, 37 points. Werenski, 2 goals, 29 assists, 31 points. And of course, Werenski left the game briefly last night but did come back. And probably had a really good view of that Byfield goal. Anaheim 20-33-2 overall. Vetrano, not scoring at the same rate he was early in the season, but still 26 goals, 18 assists, 44 points. It's been quite the year for Frankie. Cam Fowler, 4 goals, 23 assists, 27 points on the blue line. And so for Anaheim, I'm taking them tonight because sure. And because I didn't really have another reason. 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific start between Toronto and Arizona. And that was the other one I was thinking was, I could wear Toronto, but if they lose against Arizona tonight, I won't hear the end of it. So February 29th will be the second and final meeting between these teams. So this is the first. Toronto's 30-16-8 overall. Matthews, 49 goals, so he's on 50 goal watch tonight. 24 assists, 73 points. McCabe, 5 goals, 14 assists, 19 points. Riley, of course, this is the last game of his suspension. I think the blue line, McCabe included, have played pretty well with him out, and we'll see what happens when he comes back, but he's not back in this game. Arizona 23-28-4. I did the 10-loss streak video on them yesterday. Keller, 22 goals, 29 assists, 51 points for Keller. He's been their best forward. Durzi, the scoring's been lower lately, but remember, he used to be property of the Toronto Maple Leafs. 8 goals, 21 assists, 29 points for Sean Durzi. 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific start between Boston and the Edmonton Oilers. This is the first of 2 meetings as well. They'll meet again in Boston on March the 5th. Boston's 33-12-11 on the season. Pastrnak, 35 goals, 45 assists, 80 points, has been excellent. No mention of him in MVP. None. I hear Kucherov. I hear McKinnon. I hear McDavid. I don't hear a peep about Pastrnak, which is fine. It's fine. McAvoy, 8 goals, 30 assists, 38 points for McAvoy. And McAvoy, I think, had an excellent year as well. Does he get mentioned for Norris? No, doesn't score enough points for Norris. 33, 18, and 11 record for the Edmonton Oilers. McDavid's numbers are kind of weird. Just the 21 goals, but 62 assists for 83 points. So I'm kind of surprised McDavid doesn't have more goals, but he's not selfish out there. He's got 12 assists in his last 4 games. It's not too shabby. Bouchard has been, I think, a recipient of some of this. 14 goals for Bouchard, which I believe is a career high. 39 assists, 53 points. I'm pretty sure every time he gets a point, it's a new career high. So Evan Bouchard's had a really good year, and Edmonton in general has turned things around. They've won, I think, 20 of their last 23 now. So, yeah, it's a pretty amazing record. This should be Game of the Night material, and it'll be available. I think it's across, I know, well, it's not going to be across the U.S. if it's TNT. Technically it is, but I don't think everybody has TNT in the U.S. And I want to say it's across Canada, but I don't know for sure. It should be across Canada, the Boston-Edmonton matchup. It's an old feud that goes back many, many, many decades. That is too many minis. That's fine. Let me know your picks in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And yeah, I used different magnets today because I was like, hey, I haven't used these in a while. I gotta throw these on the board today. So there you go. Thanks for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.